Okay, this is for COMM 101, and this is for the ADN class, online class. I'm doing this because there's some mistakes that were made by a lot of people in the class, so this is addressed to everybody, and there'll be a separate YouTube video that'll refer to your speeches. Let's talk first about the generic kinds of errors people make. You need a specific audience size. It's all spelled out there. I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's your job to know. That audience must be there. If it's not there, you will not pass this class. You cannot pass a speech without the proper audience meets all the requirements. Please remember that. Failure to do so will not only cause failure on the speech, failure to do every speech, and an F means you didn't do it. You didn't do it properly, will cause you to fail this class. You must do all the speeches. You must meet all of the requirements. All right. Audio. In every case I know about, the microphone is part of the camera. So it depends on where you put the camera as to how good the audio is. Thus, if you get this shot that I require you to have about an inch or two above the head to about the bus line, then in order to get that shot, you zoom to the shot from the back 40. You're at one end of the football field and you got a really good lens, and you zoom to the other end and get the shot. The microphone is still back there, and as a result, I can't hear you. Worse yet, back there where the microphone is, there's a bunch of kids playing, and I hear everything they're saying, and they're blotting you out. So if you got babies cooing in the background, you got a television on in the background, you got a police monitor on in the background, the camera's next to a bubbler for a fish tank, any number of those things, that's what I'm going to hear. Please understand that. Move the camera. Get the shot you want. Now, for your audience, unless you're 4 foot and the audience are all 7-footers, then they should come, walk in front of you, stop for a second, look at the camera, and then keep on going past the shot. They don't have to say anything. They don't have to give their names, their ages, their IDs, social security, none of that. Just walk in front of you, pause for a second or so I can see that they meet the requirement for the audience. Now, let's talk about video. If I can't see you, that's a huge part of speech. I've got to be able to see your eyes for eye contact. If I can't see you, I can't judge the speech. And basically, if I can't see you, I couldn't see your audience either. That was really a problem. You took pictures of the audience, and I suspect there were people there, but I couldn't see them. And that brings me to a whole nother area, and that is, do you look at these videos before you send them to me? Because I'm from the old school, and I always do things like, how come if I can see it, they can't? So if the audio is terrible, and if you can't see yourself, if your eyes are just like raccoon eyes, they're just shadows, I can't see you either. There's nothing on my end that's going to magically fix your end, okay? So you've got to make sure it's good on your end. Good audio, good video. If there's not enough light on your face, get some light coming at you. Never stand in front of a window in the daylight. Never stand in front of a doorway where there's light coming in. If you're by a pass-through in a kitchen and there's a light over your shoulder, see what happens when I move my hand with the light levels changing here? And they go darker and lighter. It's kind of subtle here. But that happens, and when the light level changes, then it makes your face disappear. Those white papers on the wall behind me are causing some level of problem, but you know, we can work with it. All right? Never but never sit. Unless you've got an ADA reason, some kind of a disability, never sit when you speak. Always stand. It'll help your diaphragm, it'll help your breathing, it'll help all kinds of other things. If you do have an ADA disability reason, I need to know that, because otherwise, if you're sitting, I'm going to downgrade your speech. All right. Composition. We already talked about it. All right. Length. If you don't hit the length of the speech, then you're going to fail the speech. It's that easy. If it says 3 to 5 minutes, that doesn't mean 1 minute and 30. It doesn't mean 6 minutes and 40 seconds. I will give you 15 seconds of slops. So, first of all, this is a kind of a standardized statewide. I don't like 3 to 5. That's too broad a range. But God, if you can't hit 3 to 5, that's 2 minutes of slop in there. But I will give you 2:45 to 5:15. Less than that or more than that, you're not going to pass the speech, so keep that in mind. Complete submissions. You're supposed to submit speaking outlines and speech outlines and read up on all that. There's 2 papers that are supposed to come with every speech. Don't send me 20 different email messages with something here, something there. Send that all as attachments to one email message. Finally, fantasy names. I'm going to be doing a fantasy name thing where I name the people and talk about you in the speech. I do not say, Keith Klein, you did a really good job, or Keith Klein, you slurred all your words. I will say things like Coco, or Cat, or Tet, nice job, way to go, and I'll talk to you that way. But if I don't have your fantasy names, you're not going to know who I'm talking about. I'll fill in a name. I'll be talking about green. If you hear me talking about a color, it's somebody I don't have a fantasy name for. Why do I do that? Well, because other people need to learn from what it is I'm saying to you, but you're not going to know it's you I'm talking about. So please, please take care of that. When you post your YouTubes, post them with your name. Make sure it says something like COMM 101, Speech 2, Keith Klein, and then put a date on it. Then it'll be no question whatsoever. Send me to my Ivy Tech email address your speech address. Do not post it in messages. Send it to me. We've already talked about that, and some of you missed that, and I have to look for speeches. I won't do it. Okay? If you have any questions, as always, call me. Have a great one, and watch for another YouTube where we do critiques on the speeches.